Hey, what's up, guys? I got an email a few days ago asking if I could take a look at Ken Griffey Jr.'s swing and just give my thoughts on it, what I thought he did well, which basically is everything. Ken Griffey Jr. was one of my favorite players growing up. I think he was basically everyone's favorite player. One of the greatest baseball players to ever walk the planet, and probably has the most beautiful swing out of basically any player to ever play. So I just want to hit on a couple of key things because I think there's a lot that you can take away by watching Griffey swing and slowing it down, and it'll even dispel a lot of myths that are out there. If you watch his swing and then you watch another video of other great MLB players, they do a lot of similar things. So let's talk about a few of them. The first thing that I notice when I watch him is his stride or his linear move or his positive move, whatever you want to talk about. And basically that's the stride, when he's making a move towards the pitcher. And we'll go through here, and you'll notice that Griffey has a pretty decent stride. When he's doing this, he's building up power and force to hit with. So he's not just sitting there and rotating. There's a positive move, a move where you're building up some force. And in any sport you play, you're going to do something where you're going to build up force. If you're going to punch somebody, you're not just going to spin and rotate. You're going to drive off your back leg and punch through something. If you're going to take a slap shot, well, you're going to drive off that back leg. If you're going to throw something, you're not just going to rotate, but you're going to drive off your back leg. A quarterback, a pitcher, an infielder, anything. It's the same with hitting. He drives off of his back leg. So if we watch it again, he's driving and moving his entire body from where it began to where it ends when his stride foot lands. His body moved. His head stayed in the middle of his body, but everything moves together. And a good way to think of this is Sean Wooten, who's a great hitting coach, someone that I've worked with for a long time. He talks about pushing off a dock with the back foot. So it's not a type of push like we're coming out of the starting blocks and we're sprinting, but we're moving ourselves by pushing off a dock and by driving off that back leg to move our body. And what this is doing, not only is it building up force and energy, but it's transferring our weight. We get on our back leg so that we can transfer it from the back leg to the front leg. And if we move this a little bit further, you can see how the weight, if we go back here, the weight's, his front foot's off the ground, the weight's on his back leg. He's going to start to move it, and you can see as the toe touches and watch, you can see how the weight is moving into that leg, and it's moving downward into that front leg. A couple quick important things when making that positive move. The first thing is you want to make sure that you're leading with your hip and taking it to the pitcher. Your momentum always wants to be moving back up the box towards the pitcher and not diving into the plate. A lot of times you'll see younger players do that, or even older players. When things aren't going so well, their momentum will be falling over the plate and it won't be moving back towards the pitcher. The second thing is to make sure that that front hip stays closed, or stays square. Square might be a better word. Closed might confuse some of you guys. So it stays square to the pitcher. A lot of players will never get that front hip closed. It'll always be open, or slight for a right-handed hitter, slightly facing third base, or for a left-hander, slightly facing first. And it never really closes before it begins to open while you rotate. So that's just two key points on that. Okay, so after making your positive move towards the pitcher, let's look at some other things. Let's bring this back a little bit. Right when he lands. Okay, the next thing I notice is the length in his front arm and his lead arm, and how his hands are back. They're back basically over his back foot. This does a couple things for you. The first thing it does is it gives your bottom half time to rotate. It gives your back elbow time to drop into its slot. And all of this allows the bat to get on the proper plane of the pitch early and not late. And when you get your bat on plane early, it allows you to keep it there for a long time. And anytime you look at a consistent hitter, someone that hits in the high 200s or around 300, and they do it over and over again, some people say, well, it's great hand-eye coordination. But really what it is It's your bat getting on the right plane early and staying there throughout the swing, and this gives you more chances to get hits. Your timing doesn't have to be as perfect, because if our bat's on plane, it gives us a chance to hit the ball here or here or here or here, depending on, maybe it's a changeup and it's a little slower than we thought, but our bat's on path for a long time or on plane, so we still have a chance to hit it out here, and we don't only have to hit it right here. It just gives you more room for error, and that's a big part of hitting. So let me show you what I mean by this. Here's Waits moving into his front leg still, and what you'll see is that the swing starts with his back knee and back elbow moving together. Here comes the back elbow, here comes the back knee. The back elbow will drop in, the back knee will rotate while the hands are still back. The back elbow used to be here, now it's dropping into slot. But the important part is the hands aren't pushing forward. Still, back knee, back elbow, back elbow, back elbow. There's still no push of the hands. The hands are still back over the back foot. The bottom half is starting to rotate. You can still see the back elbow, and now the hands are going to start to come. This allows the bat now. It creates bat lag, and it's going to let the bat get on path early in the swing. It also isn't a push, it's a swing. And what you'll see with a lot of young kids is the first thing that goes is their hands. They want to push the bat to the ball. They don't want to swing the bat. And you might hear this sometimes, swing it, don't push it. That's essentially what it means. You have to let your body do the work. You have to let your back elbow drop in and not have your hands just pushing the bat to the ball, because you're not going to build up very much force only using your hands. You're not going to have very good bat speed. If you watch his swing, there's a really beautiful natural arc to his swing. So he doesn't swing down, he doesn't try to chop down at the ball, he doesn't push his hands to the ball, he doesn't throw his hands at the ball. There's a natural arc because of allowing the back elbow and the back knee to start things, allowing the hands to stay back, getting the bat on plane early, and then continuing on path until he makes contact. Now once we get to contact, you'll see this in basically all very good hitters. He stays behind the ball really well. His lead arm's across his chest. His back arm is still bent, although it's kind of tough to see. But his back arm is bent. Hitting behind a stiff front leg. Back leg's bent. He's on his toe, so his weight's off of his back leg. He's not just falling backwards or leaning back on his back leg. The weight has been transferred into his front leg, and he's barely on his toe on his back leg. Now if we continue on a little bit further, you're going to see a lot of things that you've probably heard about before. Oops, sorry about that. Palm up, palm down at contact. You'll notice that the wrists don't roll over. Watch how long his top hand stays palm up. It isn't until about right here that it's starting to roll right there. So basically here he's still palm up, palm down. He has good extension to where his bat is basically facing the pitcher. And I wanted to say a couple quick things on this. This is a byproduct of what happened earlier in his swing, all the way back from transferring your weight off your backside to getting some length in your arms, to getting your elbow to drop in, to not swinging down and having a natural arc. All that stuff made this stuff here happen. So a lot of times you'll see someone that really rolls over their wrists or doesn't get good extension, and it's because of things that happened earlier. And what you'll hear a lot of coaches say is, really push through the ball. You got to push that arm and extend that arm and everything. That will happen if this part of the swing is right back here. This is just a continuation. There's nothing going on. He's not thinking about pushing through the ball. It's just keeping the bat on that natural arc, and by doing that, it's going to allow your top hand to stay palm up. It's going to allow your arms to continue to get extended through the ball. So just a couple quick things on that. I wish I had more time. Some of these are really complicated issues that we could talk forever about, but I've only got a 10-minute video. And if we continue going, we'll see that arc just continue all the way around, and Griffey's patented follow through, which I don't have on video. So that's just a couple of quick things that I noticed. I know I ran through everything really quick and didn't have time to break everything down, but that's what I really think sets his swing apart, makes him such a consistent hitter, such a powerful hitter. And you can take some of these things and learn from them and add them into your swing.